you would not. Mr. Speaker, a story is told about a frog and a scorpion and a swollen river. The scorpion couldn't swim and asked the frog, who is an amphibian and therefore capable of crossing the swollen river, to assist the frog to cross the river. And the frog tells the scorpion in the story, but you will sting me before we are done with crossing, and we'll both die and drown. And the scorpion promised, no, I can't do that, because if I were to sting you while you're carrying me on your back to cross this swollen river, we would both die, and because it would be mutual destruction, as the Americans and the Russians called it during the Cold War, I have no incentive. There is no rational reason why I would sting you. And poor frog bought this story, just like you're being invited to buy the story. I will pray for them. I'll forgive them. We only need a month. So frog took scorpion on his back, and frog started swimming across the river, and right in the middle, scorpion oystered his tail and stung the frog. And of course that poison disables the nervous system, and the frog couldn't swim, and they both started drowning. And frog asks in the story, why did you sting? You promised that you won't sting, and you are also aware by you stinging we would both be extinguished. And scorpion gave frog a simple answer. I stung because it is in my nature to sting. We are submitting to you, Mr. Speaker, with all the humility. KAWIRA Mwangaza keeps relapsing to these violations of the law and the Constitution and the vilification. We can call whatever the specifics we want. The reason she keeps relapsing back to the same thing is because, like that scorpion in the story, it is in the nature of KAWIRA to sting. So even if you give her another chance, whether it is on account of pity, whether it is on account of sympathy, whatever the reason, she will sting again. And I swear, Mr. Speaker, there are no prophets in my family, but I can tell you, if you forgive her, she will sting again and will be back in this assembly. And the question is the one, therefore, asked by the Honorable Sifuna. For how long can we endure this embarrassment? Is it fair? I had the senator ask, do wars have consequences? Of course, wars have consequences. Wars have been fought because someone said words that they shouldn't have said. That's why there is an adage that says, speech is silver, silence is golden. Mr. Speaker, you were told kaende kaende means development and other nice things. I invite any of you, because it's an open country. Kaende kaende is not an English word, it's not a Swahili word, it's not a native word from any of our native languages. It is Sheng, street slang in Nairobi. And I told you yesterday, all you need is pick your phone, call a young person, ask them what is the meaning of kaende kaende. And I told you the meaning is, I don't care. Na liwe liwalo. Kusera, kusera. And I recall telling you, because it is in the nature of KAWIRA to do these type of things. When I mean it is in her nature, I mean she can't help it. It's part of our chemistry. Unfortunately, we have human beings like those, and they are our beloved brothers and sisters. We can't get rid of them, but we can't allow them to be governor. We can't allow them. They are our beloved mothers, sisters and brothers. But the very reason chapter 6 of our constitution and all these laws we've cited is an acknowledgement that not all of us can be a state officer. Some of us may be very intelligent. They may be very eloquent. They may have very good mobilization skills. As a matter of fact, they may be loved by the people. Barabbas was so loved that the people chose him over the Son of God. But it doesn't mean they are the right holders of certain offices. And if, by what I called in the last impeachment, that seemed to bring me into trouble with the Senate, an aberration of democracy. Mr. Speaker, Article 181 exists because the drafters of our Constitution, in their wisdom, realized democracy can produce aberrations, counterintuitive products. And governors like the one before you, I very humbly submit, Mr. Speaker, they are an aberration. They are not the type of product our democratic system of government was designed. And because the makers of our Constitution knew this sort of problem can arise from time to time, this august Senate and the County Assembly were given a counter-majoritarian power to remove state officers for violations such as those before you. I told you about Shaggy yesterday and his song, It Wasn't Me. And true to my prediction, even though there are no prophets in my clan, the governor came here and the common denominator was that it wasn't me. I haven't done a single thing. Luckily, Mr. Speaker, today while cross-examining our own legal